tonight, as we get going here, is that first off here real quick is that we're a quarters team, 4-3, just like Pat is. We do. I like to play the ends a little bit wider than what they do. But as far as when we studied video and we studied quarters, that's the guy's film we went and got. He's very knowledgeable, does a great job of quarters, and the run that he had at Michigan State was unbelievable. So he's a great coach, and it's good to see him, and place definitely worth checking out if you get the chance to with Pat. Is that I've been at Washington State 1 year now. Most of my career I've been in the Midwest. Like I said, I finished at Minnesota, set out a year, which was a great experience for me. As we all put so much time into this. I wish everybody could do it after doing it, but it's the same thing. When a coach gets fired, everybody worries about the head coach. Well, head coaches get paid. You know what I'm saying? It's the assistants that got to go find jobs. You know what I'm saying? So I still got paid. So I set out. I hadn't been home in 20-some years, and got to spend that time with my family. Kind of got my batteries recharged a little bit, and I wish everybody could do it. So I had the chance then. The best interview you can have is we beat Washington State when I was at Minnesota in the bowl game, and Coach Leach gave me a call when he was looking for a coordinator, and I took the job. I didn't go to Pullman. I had a choice to interview in Pullman or go to Key West. I'm not a dumbass. All right, so I decided to go to Key West for a few days and interview, and he was great, and it's worked out good for me, and then to go to Pullman this last year, we won 11 games, and obviously disappointed we didn't win the in-state rival, but you play 13 times, you win 11, that's a great season, and our kids did a great job and played hard. Is that one of the things was defensively is that when you get into it is tackling and takeaways are a big part, obviously, of what goes on, but I like the tackles for losses, and takeaways, I think, are big things in football nowadays with the spread offense. The tackle for losses gets people off schedule. Thank you very much. Is that, and then they got to catch up to you, and so third and long anymore is about the only down that really favors the defense anymore if you look at it. And so we try to get people to third and long by being aggressive on first and second down, and getting people off a schedule. Whether that means the ball coming out fast, or getting sacks or tackles behind the line of scrimmage, okay? To me, the easiest way to defend the passing game is get the ball out as quick as you can, whatever that is. Just get it out, and then you got a good tackling team, you're in pretty good shape, okay? So here's, I want to go over is the tackling part of it and take away some of the things that we do. Now, I also know I'm in the worst position because as soon as it's done, they open up the beer, okay? So I'll make sure. I thought that when you keep players late in the meeting at night before they eat is a bad thing. Well, this is terrible here, okay, the way this is set up. So I'll make sure that I don't overdo my time here. But tackling, okay? The game is, it's under, with the head injuries and everything like that, is that the tackling part of it is, we have to protect the game. As a coach, I have no problem with the rules that they're putting in of trying to take the head out of the game, and that I have a problem with the way they're enforcing some of the targeting things and what they're doing. But as far as I agree, you got to get the head out of the game. Number two is this, is that while I was a position coach, and I've coached all three levels of it over my career, and I started in high school, is I wanted to beat the hell out of kids all the time in full pads, make them tough. That's the way I was raised when I played, even though I wasn't worth a damn. But every day we're in pads for the most part, having contact. We were going to win the game on Friday night because we were tougher than they were, okay? Well, when I got to be a coordinator, it was more, not that toughness is important, because it is, but we learned different ways to do it because I also wanted my guys healthy and run around feeling good when the game started on Friday night. I didn't want them to feel like they had the hell beat out of them all week, okay? So we started to make a change there. And since we've made that change, we've still been an awfully good tackling team, okay? So what we emphasize in practice is being in a position to make the tackle, be in a great position to make the tackle. And we do drills to do that, and then they've got to finish off the tackles in the game, okay? As far as practice goes, rather than tackle a bunch one practice, I like to tackle 15, 20 minutes at the end of the practices that you're going to tackle. Again, you keep guys healthy, you get enough reps. If you do that enough, you get just as much as if you take one practice and just go like hell all the time, okay? Now, that's not talking about scrimmages. Obviously, scrimmages is scrimmages. But, and then the toughness part is, I like to teach it down in the red zone, okay? Offense versus defense, put the ball down the 7-yard line, 8-yard line. Hey, if the offense scores, defense got a gasser, they jump right back out there and we're going again, okay? I think you do things like that to teach toughness rather than beat the hell out of them in individual drills and things like that all of the time. If everybody on their practice schedule has collisions every period, you're asking for trouble, okay? Just telling you, okay? Is especially the big guys, they hit all the time. So I'm going to share a few ideas with you of how we practice tackling, and we've been a good tackling team. The last 5 years, once the season started, we have not tackled live one time during the regular season, okay, in preparation, okay? Is that now to the bowl game that we have, usually twice, I think, in the bowl game, but again, only 15, 20 minutes. Is it so? Let's go through these. And the thing you're hearing me say is, we got to save their bodies and make them feel good on Friday. My first high school job, I came from a high school where I played, we hit all week, and where I helped coach. Then I went to Santa Fe Trail High School, and Bob Von Stein ran the single wing, and he let me have 8 defensive cards each week. Okay, 5 runs and 3 passes. And we just went over them, but we never hit or tackled one time, even in the fall camp with him. And we lost in the semifinals of the state that year, okay? Because our kids were healthy, and they played their tail end off. Now me, I was running the bathroom having to pee every 10 seconds before the game because I was nervous. I'm like, there's no way this will work. There's no way. We're going to get our tail end kicked. But it really did, and changed the way that I thought. So here's the first one. So the tackling in the box, this is head up, is that we want to make sure that we fit thick on the number, on the inside number, outside number, and then we're going to put the takeaway part of it, of ripping the ball out, okay? And notice, there's not a lot of space here, so we can get a lot of reps and not tear people down. Now, the guy that's ripping the ball out, most guys on offense protect it, tell them to hold the ball high and tight. We're teaching our guys then to rip the ball low and away, okay? That's the point of emphasis here. And you got to see the ball. It sounds like a simple thing, but you got to get your eyes on the ball. When we start this out, it won't be full speed, but then when we get on pads, I want a good thud there, and then the second guy's ripping the ball out, okay? And again, there's not a lot of space. It's not a very good tackle. We can do a hell of a lot better job than that. But there's not a lot of space, but we're working on just muscle memory, habits, making good habits out of things and getting the ball out. Bad job of ripping low and away. And you got to make sure that, they just don't, brother-in-law here. You want them to challenge each other with what's going on here. So that's the first one. And then, there's nothing like being able to take these over and then you put them into games. So here's against Colorado, and the back, and he's going down to the ground. I'll show you from the end zone a lot better. As he's going down to the ground, you'll see 40 rip the ball out, okay? And all of these were challenged, because the offense loses the ball, they challenge all every damn one, okay? And then they all held up to the challenge on it, all right? You'll see his good job as he's going down, ripping the ball out. And kids right away, that's another thing. You'll see a kid sort of fist up in the air. That's what we do rather than hand out jewelry, okay? Because it's no different on a drill like this. It's a team drill. One guy makes a tackle, the next guy rips it out. We throw our fist in the air, and that's our celebration as we run off the field. Coaches, everybody, that's our thing for a turnover. It's a team. We work on all week as a team. It's a reward as a team. Here's a good one. Jihad's a good player. Is that from the end zone? Not only does he make the initial hit here, but he rips the ball out himself. He's in that drill enough. And then we end up falling on it in the end zone. Okay? One thing with takeaways is while I'm here is there's a couple things here. Is that this is why I like to work in the red zone, especially defensively. They don't give him points till it crosses the line. You compete your ass off until the ball gets across the line. Make him snap the ball another time, okay? And then, the takeaways down here is that it's a good job with the corner finding the ball and getting it. But if you're a good pursuit team, you'll get more takeaways. Ball's on the ground. You'll have more jerseys your color than theirs. Percentages increase, you're going to get the ball, okay? So I think good pursuit teams also go with good takeaway teams. With that being said, we don't do any pursuit drills, fellas. I worked with Coach Kill for 20 years. I don't know how many of you know him. A great guy and passionate about it, and we're doing pursuit drills every day. Gary Patterson taught me a lot of football when I was younger, and so we're doing a pursuit drill every day. And he kept coming and goes, boy, that early in practice, having those kids run, we're going to have somebody tear a hamstring or get hurt, and you're like, yeah, coach. So you just keep doing it because you got to run a pursuit drill to be worth the damn on defense, okay? Sure enough, the day comes, kid hurts his hamstring, started linebacker, he's out 3 weeks, and it's like 5 minutes after it's over, he's right on me, okay? I told you so. I told you. Shouldn't be doing a pursuit drill. Okay, pursuit drill's gone. Don't do it anymore. All right? But we go and we grade the pursuit off of video. Okay? And if it's not there on video, then there is punishment for it. So just something that we run and chase the ball really well. Really well. So if you emphasize it and you take care of it on video, again, it takes a lot less running off of them in their individual meetings. And we're all about trying to stay healthy through our individual periods and get our stuff done. Here's in the bowl game. Again, this time it's Peyton. He goes and rips the ball out off of the tackle. So that one little drill right there ripped it out. That one little drill, there's a lot of plays in there, how productive that is in a short amount of space. Okay, now this year, Coach was talking about matching and that. We're not an underneath match team when we play quarters. That's one thing that we do different, is I wasn't a very good coach with matching routes. We'd work on all week, we'd get in a game, they'd run a new route, kids come over, how are we going to match that? My question is, how in the hell am I going to teach that before we get the ball, or they get the ball back the next time? Okay, and I had a great opportunity to talk to Coach Phillips when he was the Chargers defensive coordinator, and I was at the Rams, and his thing was when you play zone, you want people to see the ball thrown, you need to key the quarterback and learn their drops and what type of routes you get, and then when you want to match routes, play man, okay? We did that. It dropped our practice time down tremendously as far as individual goes. So that's our philosophy. The underneath guys, we're going to see the ball thrown and we're going to break on the ball. When we want to play man or match route, or when we want to match routes, we're going to play man. So this here is what we call work the first, jump the second for underneath zone coverage. So you can't see the quarterback, but you'll see him start to shuffle off to the left and then he's coming back to the right. So the quarterback back here, he's looking this way first, so he looks that way, then we jump the second, okay? So work the first, jump the second. The key is when you're working the first, you don't get into a crossover run. Because if you get into a crossover run, you're going to create too much space between you and the next guy. When you go back to jump the look inside, there's too much space there and you won't get there. So that work in the first, jump in the second, you need to be patient with it on the work in the first. If it gets to the third all the time, get a new D-line coach, okay? And I coach the D-line, so that's what we tell them. We want to be aggressive up front. We're a gap attacking team. We put guys in the gap that go like hell. I've never asked a defensive lineman to hold a linebacker or a guard off a linebacker. At our level, they're on scholarship. They can protect themselves. Okay, I want guys, those sacks and tackles for loss I think are so important to football. I want guys getting off of the football, okay, and in the gaps. Now, they got to be, if they climb the lineman, they got to be a good enough athlete to go and make that play. But anyway, so here's work the first, jump the second, underneath coverage. Okay, underneath coverage. The other thing you can do with this is put them even with the bags, and then work on what type of set they're getting. So quarterback gets the ball, he sets up real quick, which is just called quick game now, okay? So quick game, we're working lateral or we're fanning out on the quick game, all right? Or he takes his regular drops or drop back, he's going to take his drop that he's going to take. Or we do the roll out of the pocket, so when the quarterback rolls and they roll. And so you could do the same drill And that's, to me, that's for pass defense. We're going to take whatever type of passes they have, whether it's quick, sprint out, boot, you know, and then we're going to work their best 3 or 4 routes out of those different drops. And then, you know, if they beat you on something else, you know, at least they're not beating you on what they're good at, okay, and being sound with it. The other thing here I do like is, I wish, you know, throwing that ball right at that dummy, so, you know, every now and then they got to catch it and catch it in traffic, okay? And then your coaches, they got to throw bad balls, you know, because the offense isn't throwing it to us. Your guys got to learn to catch bad balls on defense. I think that's important. That's important also. So here's a couple of these, work the first, jump the second. Your Willie's at the top here. You'll see the quarterback looks to the field first, and then once he looks back to the boundary, Willie starts running, picks it off, okay? Showing pressure, bail out, get the quarterback check 3-step. Now here's where we're bad defensive coaches. We didn't teach him how to hang on the ball well enough, you know what I'm saying? Not only that, I mean, this is the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, okay? You think the worst case, we're going to get our offense the ball back in great position, okay? Not only that, we don't recover, and it goes out the back, so they get the damn ball back on the 20, okay? We got to go right back out and play defense. But here it is from the end zone. Again, you know, be patient on the first look, and jump the second. It's a great job by him there. Here's another one with Colorado. And I'd like to tell you, it's a good look as a linebacker, but it's also a colorblind quarterback, okay? I mean, guy's standing right there, you know. But he does a good job of working out wider when the quarterback looks that way. And, you know, and the other thing by the drill is that, here's my problem. See this hit on the guy, 36? I mean, he's out cold, okay? And they took the targeting off. You know, so anyway, is that, I guess they're going to talk about April 17th, so maybe they'll get it figured out, is that, but by that again, in the drills in practice, that wasn't a lot of space, so you get more reps, they get to catch more balls. Defensive guys need confidence when it comes to catching footballs, okay? You got to make the fine line decision how many you want them to catch on video, otherwise they'll try to steal them and go over on offense, all right? So that's something that you got to decide. There's nothing like that, getting a good defensive player and catches, but boy, you know, we could use him at receiver or running back, you know. So you got to be careful of that. Here's a good job by the high safety on the under route. Okay, this guy with Pat was, you know, his guy disappears underneath. He keys the quarterbacks, good break. Again, another play in the red zone. You know, defend every inch. All right, make them snap it again. Don't ever give up. They don't get any points till the damn ball crosses the line. And these spread offenses, as they get closer to a goal line, you know, less space, less options they have. But it's not time to put them on the 30 and let them play either. This I'll go through real quick. You know, we still, here's Colley's ball, you know, cradling the ball. I think that's important. You know, as the kids had to straighten me out when I first got there, I used to say, hey, if you're in traffic, fall on it. If we're out in the open, scoop it up. They said, Coach, that's city and country. So, okay, that's what we do. You say, hey, if you're in the city, you fall on it. If you're out in the country, you scoop it up, all right? So then you try to put things, that's their terminology they wanted to use, and it made sense to me. I'm from the country, actually, and so I was bad enough I'd fall on everything now, okay? Because I wasn't going anywhere if I tried to pick it up, that's for damn sure. Is that, here's another one. On this one, you know, is that on falling on it, you see he cradles it up. Now, the other thing I want to point out here, I don't have any of our sack drills, but those pop-up dummies, we do a lot of different sack drills with those pop-up dummies, and we have a ball on there because I think you're making a mistake. The sack isn't important, you know, yeah, we like the sack, but I'd like the ball to come out. It's one of the times when the ball is most vulnerable with the quarterback is when you're getting pressure on him. So as they're rushing the quarterback and they got it, I want their eyes to see where the ball's at. And we got quite a few of these this year. Knock the ball out. Now, we don't get to do it in team or, you know, against our own quarterbacks. Even our work teams. I don't let our guys beat the hell out of our work teams because you got to get as good a look in practice as you can. But our work teams, I do let them swat at the arm of the quarterback and that. We don't sack him, but as far as trying to knock the ball out of his hands and all that, because again, a lot of that's muscle memory, and I think you have to do that. Look at this one from the end zone. This is a big play in the game because we were behind. And but nice job reaching in and getting the ball. Guy steps up and takeaways. Takeaways, tackles for losses are important. Right here we're getting good old Snow a little bit, but again, same thing. Nice job of putting his hand on the ball. Okay? It's number 27, Willie Taylor again. His hand on the ball, and fall on it, cradle it up. Anytime we're in a 2-minute mode, or we get ahead by more than 2 touchdowns and it's under 7 minutes to go, we always tell our guys, hey, play it like you're in the city. Fall on everything. Getting the ball back is more important than scoring points or giving them a chance to pick it up and do something. So good job there. Okay, now, so here's another thing. So all we're working here is playing through the hands to knock down balls, okay, defend balls. Again, there's not very much space here. We're not going to beat the hell out of anybody, and you can get a lot of reps in a short amount of time. You don't even have to have pads on to do this one. But it's a needed skill. Every day, or once a week, when we do this drill, is we try to get 3 on each side real quick, okay? But we're just punching through the hands. That's what we're doing. And again, muscle memory. But again, you get confidence of playing a ball. I think some people don't make confidence kids because when the ball's coming their way, they panic. So you got to find a way in practice. They get enough drills with that ball coming at them that they can actually make plays. So now, we in spring we'll take like 42 pass shell reps every day of spring ball. So they'll get plenty of opportunities on the passing game plays. Here's a nice play, ripping the ball out between the hands. That's all we're trying to do. Here we get lucky and the ball hangs up in the air and we get the interception. But it's playing between the hands. That one little drill. Here's another one. They lay the ball up and we play between the hands, and here we end up ripping it out. It's a nice job. But we take so many balls that I do. I think it's a confidence thing, and it's like Coach said, they want to call these 50-50 balls. You break them down, they're not. But everybody seems to remember every damn one that's caught. You know what I'm saying? So great job of playing between the hands and ripping the ball out. Okay. Now the next one here is just punch it out. I put this on here for a reason. Just when you're running with people and you want to punch the ball out. Is that when they're running along their side with it. Now, here's what is the thing that I like to do, and the thing that we stress is that punch the ball first, then secure the tackle. Okay, now that's second. That's different than what some people do. But if you go and secure the tackle first, he's going to pull the ball in tighter into his body. So really, you'd like to get those at the same time. If anything, the punch happened first, and then the arm come down and secure the tackle. I think you got a better chance of getting the ball out rather than grabbing first and letting him suck that ball in tighter to his body. So that's all we're working here. This here's a pretty good job. This one here is really good. You'll see him throw the outside arm over the top after he punches the ball and secures the tackle. Now, this really isn't the same thing. This is just another thing of reaching out, but it is. He gets the ball. It's a nice job by Comfort getting the ball. Again, you're talking down here in the red zone. Good job by the safety, getting it scooped up. No points till the ball crosses the goal line. Make him snap another ball. You never know what's going to happen. But you got to work down there to get the attitude and that set up to do it. It's a good job by number 56. Our nose guard in there, he's a walk-on kid, number 56. He's 5'10" in his shoes. He's 280 pounds, but he's tougher than a one-legged man in the ass-kicking contest. You know what I'm saying? is that he's from a small town there north of Seattle. When he goes back to that town, I guarantee he'll never have to buy a drink again. He'll just go down and sit in the tavern downtown and tell everybody stories about how he started for the Cougs his senior year, and we won 11 games. Great kid, great kid. Plays hard. Now, this one here, everybody does these ball drills, or line drills with their DBs. Some linebackers do them too. I just tell our coaches, hey, put a ball in there. Finish it. Try to finish it with a ball all the time. Okay? Again, throw bad balls, but make those guys go catch a ball. The more balls they catch in practice, the better chance you have in the game. You hear me say that over and over. And it doesn't matter about the space. It's all about the finish. Okay? It's all about the finish. And you're saving routes. So here's our opening game of the season at Wyoming in the play action and take the shot down the field. You know, it was a good hit on the quarterback, but I really believe catching those balls every day in practice, we came down with our fair share of these when people laid the ball up. Job on the pass rush. But he's done that several times in practice. It's not, you know, well, he's caught one or two. He's caught a hell of a lot of footballs in practice. Same thing. Good job by the safety getting over. Okay? Pressure. Nice job of pressure. Quicker the ball comes out, the easier it is to defend. Nice job. But you got to practice them if you want to believe in them. Okay, here's one, on the tries to fake it, double pass. This is a tough play. You know, they run the speed option on us, and where the back had, really it's not speed option, like quarterback sweep, where the back had blocked us, and then here he runs by us, they go and throw it. The deep safety does a nice job here of recognizing the guy releasing, but he makes a great play on the ball, catch on the rollout. Gets both feet down. Now I put this one on here for a reason, is that everybody see what down it is? It's 1st and 10. If you don't catch this, they get to stay down there and keep trying to score again. So it's important when you get your chances to take the ball away, get your hands on it, you do that. It's a good play by Sky here. And his guy went away, rolled over. I mean, to get his feet down was a great job. It was a great job. And it's in the bowl game. This is the first or second series to start the game. Great, got us going. Right, again, nice job of, he's working the first, keeps his feet under him, and then bam, he jumps back inside on the throw, but he catches that ball. Again, not always good balls, got to catch bad balls. All right, any questions on that? And then even press. You know, when you go and press and then you get in a good position to look back, we work on these releases. I want the ball thrown, okay? I want them to go up and get it. Even press man, when they're in position to do it. When they're not, you know, obviously then we play through the hands. You know, we, as a general rule in man, you know, we go and we preach for incompletions. Because when we play man coverage, a lot of time if the ball's incomplete, they got to punt. Okay, so if everybody does their job and their guy doesn't catch the ball, we're in great shape. We're getting off the field. In zone coverage is where we stress more the interceptions and getting hits and getting the ball out. Okay, because more people should be seeing the ball thrown. Especially, like say, the way we vision and break. We've got more tip balls and things like that. But again, in practice, throw them up there. I don't care what position it is, throw them up there. Here's one here. The kid does a great job making a play on the ball. Position sees him look back. Looks back. It's a great play. Great play. But he's one that's caught a lot of them in practice. Now, Sky, he dropped about all of them in practice, but he caught the one he needed to in game. Right? Now, the tackling part is that we play all types of things. We press, we bail, we do play off. You know, and so when you play off is that you get the quick throws out there. So we got to be good tacklers on the perimeter, okay? I don't mind putting more in the box and making them throw this ball or throw the bubble, okay? I've never went home after a game and said, oh, boy, the bubble just kicked our ass. You know, I never have. And so Bob went home and guys ran for a hell of a lot of yards and is a problem, you know. So like Pat, hey, we're going to take away the run. We're going to keep guys close to the box. If they want to pick this ball up and throw it out there, and we play, I mean, our team, our receivers are big and athletic, and in the Pac-12, there's a lot of them, is you got to be able to tackle those. So here's a way of working on tackling where you're not beating the hell out of everybody, okay? So coach, he's putting him off, then when he drops his hand down, that means the ball's been thrown, and then he's going to break forward. And you know, this drill's a lot more effective with Coach McBath running it than me, okay? There's no doubt about that, all right? Is that he played for the 49ers in Denver, and he likes to show he's still got a little bit left, but he's really hanging on to that bag now, and I mean, he makes them pull that out, and we're doing the roll tackle or gator tackle with it, all right? Great drill. He does it every day on Tuesdays and Wednesdays each week. He finds time to do this with those guys. Because like I say, the way we play, we're going to get some of those quick throws like that because of how close to the box. Good job there. You don't want to run through as much as you can, but that pulling it up's got to be violent. Pulling it in violent, rolling violent. They got to get used to doing that. And I've got the drill on here to where we start teaching them with what that is. I think this is a tremendous drill for even the linebackers, safeties. Here you're going to see a safety. Is that, you know, we get here, they think we're playing man, we got the box outnumbered, and so they just toss it out here, okay? That kid's a great athlete, going to make some money in the NFL, and you got to be able to make that play in space, and what we do today, okay, with all the offenses. It's a good play, good tackle. The other thing I wanted to point out here is with the spread teams, to be a good tackling team, is there's two things. One is you also got to know where your help's at. I think a good tackler knows if I miss it, where's the ball going to go to? You know, so that's one thing we try to emphasize when we watch film with our kids. And then the other thing is we try to tell the guys that are pursuing the ball, you got to act like he's going to miss the tackle. And then you'll be there to clean it up. You don't want to see kids relax and they go and see a guy breaking up like he's going to make the play, then he misses it and gets you in trouble. So you're going to see some plays here where I want these guys coming and keep running until they know or hear the whistle, see it on the ground. That's a great job of running up front, even by D-line. One ball. As long as you got a leverage player, everybody else has got a chance. And then same thing I was telling you, if he hits this ball and it comes out, so I was talking about, the red jerseys that have the leverage on getting the ball, on recovering it if the ball comes out. Those are all things that you can teach off the video all the time and what you get. So here's the same, that corner, here's the same play. His coach does this with him every week. Corner at the top. Bam. It's a great play. That's the same kid that was getting 170 yards a game, big athletic kid from Colorado. You know, you think he thinks throwing a hitch is a great idea? I tell you, he doesn't, you know. Never had anybody throw that damn thing all the way down the field on you, you know. So, but you got to practice these in space, and you got to find a way to do it without beating the hell out of kids. Okay, that's my whole point. So they do feel good on game day. But again, there's a lot of these. Here's this, good job by the roll down safety. Wham. You know, a lot of them you see our kids wrap up and roll. You know, again, the pursuit angles. Good job running. Good team defense. Get everybody to care about each other more than they care about themselves. It's harder than hell to do. It really is. They got like here, the first guy, we tell them on the screen, I don't care. The first guy, take the shot. Don't let this guy throw this ball and not get hit. So here's how we start teaching the roll tackle, or somebody teach the gator tackle. Everything goes off set, hit. So the first set, the bag takes off. On the hit, the tackler takes off. All right? So we're trying to get that thing down around the knees, okay? Right at the knees, and then get your arms around it, pull it in violently, and roll. Okay? This is really pretty good here. It's a pretty violent roll. Pull it in and roll. Okay? We'll do another one where we'll speed these guys up on the set and make it more like a lunge where you're lunging out to make a tackle to save a touchdown also. Right? But we're going to get, one day a week, we're going to get 3 of these going each way. In fall camp, we're going to do it all the time. Because again, I don't care if you've got pads on or not on this one. Okay? But that needs to be a violent roll, over-exaggerated here. And when we broke down our film, by far, this is the #1 tackle that we had on the video. It's not the same. I mean, everybody's not doing 2 backs and everybody's within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage and playing a phone booth and hitting the ball's getting out in space, and I give the offenses a hard time. But I will tell you this, the one thing that the spread offense has done, it's made it harder for defenses. Not so much the scheme as much anymore, but the spread offenses have brought back an athlete back to the game of football that I think had given up on football. Because they go out for football and they're playing basketball. When they go out for football, they're out there blocking on the perimeter and everybody's handing the ball off. Now all of a sudden they get to catch the ball and run around and have some fun, and they don't always get hit. Is that a lot of those 6'2", 6'3" kids that aren't quite tall enough to play D1 basketball, it's brought them back to football. It's improved the game a lot. So it is, like I say, either you learn to do something different or you go do something different. You know what I'm saying? One of those 2 things. So with the spread, you have to be able to run a little bit, and you got to be able to tackle in space, and you got to take the head out of the game. So you'll never hear us say, get your head across. I don't care. We're done with that, Is that, and I'll show you here in a second. Here's the overhead view of it, all right? Here's the overhead view. Now, this here is not violent. This is taking the play off, okay? I don't know what the hell that is, all right? But it's got to be violent. You got to roll it violent, pull it in, and be violent with it. Here we go, sprint out. This is on the quarterback. It's really not a roll tackle down low. When it comes to the quarterback, whenever he leaves the pocket, we tell him to tackle him high. Try to tackle him high. Okay, now you got to see off the headgear, but it's the same thing for us now. The quarterback is the NFL. We got a strike zone in there from the knees to the I don't know, we say the bottom of the numbers, because if you hit them at the top of the numbers, your helmet slides up, they're going to call you. So on quarterbacks, we're trying to stay up high on them. But the thing is he still rolls. Once he gets a hold of him, he still rolls. The other thing that the roll tackle will do is it'll take care of a lot of those yardage where you have guys that get ran over and the ball just keeps, the yards after contact. It'll get them on the ground now. You won't give up very many yards after contact once you get good at it. But you can get good at it without beating the hell out of your kids. Right? Here's a roll tackle from a backer on the inside zone. Good job by the backer here to the left. Little eagle front, scrape it tight, scrapes it tight, roll tackle. So I just say, if you go and break down your video, you'll find the same thing. This is the #1 way the ball gets to the perimeter. Here I don't like it. We lose leverage on it, but it's a great job of running. Again, roll tackle. Gets his arms on him and then rolls. All right. Now 27 here, he should know where his help is, and it sure as the hell isn't out there at the grass, okay? But he lets it out of the box, but we do a great job of running the football. It's a good play by Jihad. Again, in Colorado. Here's what I'm talking about. First guy misses it. First guy misses it. But Jihad never slows down, 13. You keep running like he's going. This out here is wrong. He had a hard time because They were a turn, look, and match everything. This is why I like the underneath people, to see the ball thrown. He would also got a lot better break. That's a great job. Assume the first guy's going to miss. There's a roll tackle on the quarterback, on the scramble. Got him around the waist. So every position, you're going to see this tackle, and it takes the head out of it. Again, inside zone with the roll tackle. Usually in the box, that's not the way it was, but anymore with all this full zone stuff and where the ball cuts and where it ends up, it's a nice play. All right, and then this is the other. So this is the second drill that we do the most. Okay, and so this is our angle tackle, and this is what I was talking about on this. We're not going to tell our guys to get their head across on this, and I've caught a lot of hell over that now, okay, from guys that coach football a long time. But when you tell somebody to get your head across in this position, naturally your head goes down, okay? It just does, all right? So I don't think it's important to get your head across as much as I think you hit it thick and then get your hips going around with you, okay? Wrap it up and get your hips going, and then you keep the head out of the game. Now, you may end up across on it, but in this type of situation, we want to try to have leverage, which we do, and we want to hit that inside number, be thick on that inside number. But see him throw his hips back around to the front. Now, at the end, he brings them back this way, which she wouldn't. But that's more important what we want to do. Club him up, fit him right there, and run your feet, rather than worrying about telling him to get his head across. Because the other thing is getting your head across. Sometimes they'll take a really shitty angle, and then the back will cut back on them also, okay? So the last drill with the rolling in the bags, and then this one is the two drills that we do. This is our two base tackles. I think this is more of in the box. Okay, now that's not very good, It's not one you want to show for playing physical, that's for sure. But that was better. But, he may end up with his head across, but we're not telling him to get his head across. Here's one where his head actually ends up getting across pretty much. But now, the thing I'm saying is that's the two tackles we do the most. There's not very much space there. We're not beating the hell out of each other, and we're a good tackling team, okay? The good thing about all of those is if you want to stretch this one out more, you can. All of them you can always add more space to. Get to, I think here. I don't think the game clips now. I'm not going to tell you these match up great with that drill, but it's hard to find that type of tackle in the game of football anymore. There's one right there. This is when he cuts it back. Bam. Off another guy. Eyes are up. No launching. I like to use the stand-up agilities with the handles and have people run with them. It's more in tune to being a body. And then my thing I found with the donuts is too many kids lunge with the donuts. Rather than wrap up and roll it, you'll see them lunge at it. And if you lunge or launch, that's one of the first key things where they're determining targeting. You know what I'm saying? And so we try to stay away from that. And I think the Agiles are a lot better as far as like a body, get your arms around and bring them in and roll. So that's my opinion. Not trying to put anybody out of business. Is that like this one here? I think this is, I put this one on here. This is usually what happens when you go to put your head across. You see 41 right here? His head goes down. He could just hit that thick and hit that high, and we get the same thing out of it. Puts his head down. So, that's the two tackling drills that we're going to do most often. Any questions on any one of those? How much time is it? They probably got the beer tapped, and I'm making people mad here a little bit. I got a little bit left. Okay. So now, batting the ball down. So this is another drill. So you're not beating anybody up. You got a lot of space here, whether it's a D lineman, whoever it is that this drill here will get going. But so here comes the two guys off the edge. And the whole team does this. This can be like safeties blitzing off the edge, corners blitzing off the edge. Here's the first coaching point. If the quarterback is looking at you, put your hands up. If he's not, keep rushing him, all right? Keep running. Because if he's not looking at you, he ain't throwing it that way. You know, and now you're going to see some of these, it's amazing. The quarterback ain't looking at him, and they still want to go like this, okay? And then the next thing is get your hands together. When we do the drill, I actually would like for them to almost get them crossed. So then in the game, at least, maybe we get this. Too many of them run through like a touchdown, and the ball goes right through their hands. So I think it's a memory thing you can teach. So he's looking this way. The other guy should be going more. And I want this guy, when he's not looking at me, I want him concentrating on his eye, seeing the ball. So when he does get there, wherever the ball is, he can bat that out of there if you don't throw it, okay? Everybody good there? Now, the guy that he does throw it to, he's got to pull up or you're going to have a collision, okay? So, but that's all right. He's in front of him. He needs to put it under control and put his hands up. It's the same thing as somebody's blocking him and they're pushing him back to him and the quarterback's looking at him. You get your hand up and let the other guy keep going for the quarterback in case he pulls the ball down. So then here's the guys on the inside. All right? Same thing. See this guy put his hands up? No. The quarterback ain't looking at you. All right? This guy puts them up, but he's got his hands. They're not together. Ball's going to go right through there. And then we're all going to watch film and go, oh, man. Well, we had our hands together. Right? So then here, there's I don't know. He likes to get sacked, so he probably is like, he's one of our best players, and he probably figures he'll just take the hit, you know what I'm saying? Knocking the ball down is not as fun. You can see he gets talked to there a little bit, gets coached up a little bit. Simple drill. Do it all positions. Again, not beating anybody up. Now he puts his hands up, but they're more like a touchdown. So then, you know, that last one was the first day we did it. And then so once you get going, you can crank these things out quick. But again, hey, where's he looking? No. Right. The other guy find the ball. Good job. Got his hands closer together. Again, so that's my point. It's all muscle memory is what it is. And again, the quick throws, the more you can get them batted down, the better. So that's one there. Now, this thing here is that, so our secondary coach, Kendrick Shaver, he coaches our safeties, you know, and I go out to practice the first day, and I hadn't coached with Kendrick before. We hired him from Utah State, and of all things, he's got a soccer ball out on the field, okay? And so I couldn't figure out what he was doing. Well, you know, again, when you talk about leverage and getting into a good football position, one, this is wrong, okay, is that he's inside of him. He should be, this is his inside foot. He should have better leverage on that ball, okay? So rather than a body running, he's rolling that ball to teach the angles of leverage. And you do want him to scoop it up and run with it, but he's got to have better leverage on it. But what it does, let me see here. What it does here, he's getting closer. But, see, I got one more on there, hopefully. Yeah. Now he's using his body, but those kids got used to that ball. See how he sinks his hips down there? This is the position that I'm talking about getting in. Inside foot's up. And when that gets on the ground, his palms, we tell him palms are up, hips are down. He's got good bend in his knees, and he's right there on that guy's hip. All right? And if you emphasize that when you're watching practice video, and then when we do it in practice, they're just going to tag him off on the hip and go. But there's none of this reaching like this to tag last minute. You always want them to get right there. In pass shell, we're fortunate. Coach Leach lets us strip the hell out of the ball. Once the ball's caught, you know, in defense, we get to blow the whistle dead. I mean, we can rip that ball out. He says their fumbles have went down tremendous, and our takeaways went a bunch. So in pass shell, we're fortunate enough we get to chase the ball and rip it out. These are going to get people on the ground. There it is. but he believes that the benefit of the drill is better than keeping people off the ground, okay? Other people I coached with, oh, you don't touch receivers in 7-on-7. That's a sin, you know, so that's a good thing. But even in team, whatever, when we're not tackling and we're not thudding, that's what we want to see, okay, is that position. When you emphasize that on film, if they don't, Coach, what if they don't do it? Well, they need something to remind them how important it is after practice, okay? And if you do it, then they'll figure out it's important. But I think just because of that ball, I'm sold on it. That kid learned how to get in that position because of that volleyball, doing that every day. You can make that space a lot. You can make it short. But there is no collision there, okay? There's no collision there. And, I mean, you've seen our clips. I think our kids played pretty fast and played physical, you know. Out here, again, you know, here he don't quite drop his hips quite enough, but it's close. I mean, he's really good. But yeah, all those drills, they're designed to make you better tacklers, but you got to believe in it. I mean, you got to sell yourself on it, and you got to sell your kids on the idea. As long as they know the importance of being in position on those things, is that you don't have to beat kids up. And I want to just tell you this, is that, again, you got to learn to change things. You know, it's our job to protect the game. All right, it's a great game. I'll argue, I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for the game of football. And I was a terrible player. Look where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But it did teach me how to work. It taught me discipline. I think it gave me a little bit of toughness. You know, not that I could hurt anybody if I hit him. You know what I'm saying? But I'd like to have one play. I'd give it all I got. I'd probably be the last one too. You know what I'm saying? But the game benefited me a bunch, and it's going to benefit a lot of people. But we got to protect the game now with the things that have come out with the concussions and things like that. You know, and part of that is how you teach tackling. And I'm talking all the way down to the little ones. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bother me if they play flag football till they get to a certain thing. Just get them out there and let them play football. You know, where I came from in Kansas, we didn't get to start football until the 7th grade. Small town, there was no PAL, there was none of that, you know, and so, you know, is that you got to make sure that, you know, we have good teachers and people taking care of the kids and teach them the game of football, and it'll be around a long time. It's still not made for everybody now. You know, that's what I like about it. It's for tough people. Okay, not every, you know, they say if you don't bite when you're a puppy, you're not going to bite. Bill Parcells, you say that all the time. Not everybody's going to be able to play the game of football. That's what's great about it. It does take special people to play it, but it also, now with what's going on, it takes special people to coach it who will take care of and protect the game. So, again, I think, you know, from the high school coaches, I always, you know, I started there in high school, just went 1 year before I got the chance to start with Coach Kill, and you know, I think I made $900 that year being assistant coach, and still had faculty mad because you made $900, and you know, and I'm like, how many of them would give up every Friday night all through the fall semester for $900? Ain't one of them that would have. Okay, so you know, you do it because you love it, and you do it because you care about kids, and I know sometimes, you know, it can get to where it's you know, you fight administration. It's not a worthless battle. Okay, you're doing great things. You give kids a chance. The ones that are just make bad decisions and don't give a shit, they ain't gonna make it in anything anyway. You know what I'm saying? But we all had those kids in high school that was a little bit on the edge, that need a little bit of discipline in their life, need to be taught how to work hard, and all of a sudden those kids go to college and they get a degree, and you save somebody from putting into our welfare system and all that again, okay? I'm telling you, do a great job in high school of saving kids. Now we got to protect the game with the way that we teach it. And it'll always be here, and it'll benefit a hell of a lot of people. So thank you for what you do. Thanks for coming tonight, and enjoy those taps out there. All right, take care.